Greetings, I'm here to do my shadow of the week. This is my version of Shop My Stash or Makeup Bag of the Week, and I am still playing with Halloween colors. I pulled out colors by Fyrinnae, by Pumpkin and Poppy, and by Glamour Doll Eyes, their Halloween collection. I should have one more coming in. When I get that, I'll do a Postman Cometh, and then I'll integrate that as well. But last week I played with the shadows and started to get to know them, and so this week is continuing to play with those colors. I'll be popping them over probably Maybelline color tattoos and other cream shadows, some by Pumpkin and Poppy, and just experimenting a little to see what I can do with them. For now, what I wanted to do is run through them and talk about my first impressions after playing with them for a week, and talk about which shadows I think I'll spend a little bit more time on this week. On Monday, I played with Glamour Doll Eyes, and by far my favorite shadow there was this one, Frankie's Girl. It is this green shadow, the color of Frankenstein's skin, which doesn't sound very attractive, but it's actually a really pretty color. I used it to line, I believe, and I'm not sure if I'll take that one over the lid or not. I kind of liked it just as a real thick liner, but who knows, I might try that one on the lid. Certainly wouldn't try it in the crease. Yikes! The other one I played with was this color called Permanent Address. It is a darkish shade. However, I was able to use this, surprisingly enough, and it worked beautifully as a crease shade. It does sheer out really, really nicely, and it's just got a lot of plum to it, so this was a great one. I also lined with it, but really for me this becomes a really nice crease shade. Liked it a great deal. Corpse-like is an interesting shade. It's a white yellow. I just used this one, you know, all over the lid to set as a kind of background for the other colors, and left it light on this part of the lid. It's kind of nondescript, but it's serviceable. I guess that's what I would say about that one. So we'll see if I use that or not. Also by Glamour Doll Eyes this week, I did use Bat Wings, which is this purple. It's almost like an eggplanty purple shade. This one is pretty much for me a liner. It just is a bit too dark to play around with too much. I might try this on the lid over a dark base and see how that works. That leaves two more colors by Glamour Doll Eyes. One is this color Macabre. I have that on today. That is right in that location. Next time I know I'm going to try popping this over Maybelline color tattoo Fierce and Tangy just to make it a bit brighter. I also pulled out Glamour Doll Eyes Bronze Goddess and just added that a little on the inside. This Bronze Goddess went really nice with the Macabre, so I like that combination of Macabre and Bronze Goddess. Bronze Goddess was the August OTM from Glamour Doll Eyes. I also use that as a lip highlighter, and so I enjoy that. I'm starting to figure out when I can reach for this. I keep it in my lipstick drawer of all places, but I did find that I grabbed for it. And just so you know, when I use it as a lipstick, I always take some out and put it in a separate container so that I can keep the pot usable for the eyes. You shouldn't go back and forth between the eyes and lips, so if you do, you want to make sure you're separately taking out the product, using it for your eye, separately taking out the product, using it for your lips. You do not want to be double dipping into your pots. The color I didn't try this week is this color Gruesome, and it's because it's pink, and I can't quite figure it out for fall. It is lip safe, so I know I can use it on the lip, but I haven't been gravitating towards a pink lip for fall. And I think it could probably also work as a blush. I always know I can, mix a blush in with another pigment to tone it down if I need to. But I think it would go on sheer if I just used a bit of it. So I need to play more with Gruesome. Although I was mainly playing with Pumpkin and Poppy, Glamour Doll Eyes, and Fyrinnae this week, I also did grab a few shades by My Beauty Addiction. I hadn't used those before, but there was this color Toxic, and I figured I had to try that for Halloween. One thing I noticed about Toxic is that it didn't last. I put it down, and by the end of the day, it was gone. I came home and there was no Toxic. It did not exist anymore. One thing I will try with Toxic is popping this over a Maybelline color tattoo. I'm not sure which color yet, maybe Too Cool, just to keep the brightness of it. The other color by My Beauty Addiction, not properly a Halloween color, just one I wanted to try, and that is this navy. It's a really, really gorgeous, rich navy, and I use that foiled to line And that did last, so probably the process of foiling it, which reminds me, that's the other thing I can do with Toxic if I want, is just foil it, and that would help it stay and not change the color. One other color I did use this week is this color Trickery by Fyrinnae, and I used that in combination with Toxic and Navy. It is this shimmery kind of grass green. I'd like to put this in combination with some other perhaps greens and browns to see what I can do with this. Not sure yet, but that's another one I will challenge myself to use, is Trickery. I feel like I haven't figured out Trickery yet. Maybe I'll put that in with Corpse-like and get some sort of more pastel-y fall look. From Fyrinnae, I went on and on about Book of the Dead, but oh my god, I loved this gold beige shade. Just loved it. Loved using it. Know I'm going to use it more this week. Try it out with purples, with greens, with blues. This week in my favorite look, it was Wednesday. I used it with Sultry Samhain, which I used to line. But I could also use that as a crease shade. Really, really pretty. And I used both of those along with this Bonfire Spirits, which is more burgundy brown shade. And that one went in the crease. All three of these were really wonderful to play with. Book of the Dead, Sultry Samhain, and the Bonfire Spirits, all in the kind of reddish, burgundy-ish gold families. Really, really nice. One of the hard colors for me this week to play with was Velveteen Werewolf. This is a Fyrinnae color. There it is. And in the pot, it looks like a mid-range. Even when I swatch it, it doesn't come out that dark, and so it looks like one I would be able to wear in the crease. For whatever reason, it came out really, really dark, and I had a hard time blending it down. But every time I swatch it here, it really comes out with lots of golds, and so I'm not sure what I did, but I didn't have luck with it. I will try it again and use it ever so gingerly. I think I might have just had too heavy a hand, but it turns out that too heavy a hand is, you know, relative. I need to use that one really, really, really sparingly. With Velveteen Werewolf, I played around with the combination of Are You My Mummy, which is this deep, deep green color, and I put that next to Mischievous She. Mischievous She, when it goes on, has two kind of lives. One life is as a kind of yellowish color. But this is one, when it hit the light, particularly the artificial lights, it would end up looking something like Makeup Geek's Pixie Dust, which I really, really like. It would have these greens coming through. Very, very pretty. Hard to describe. I don't know, chartreuse. I always grab for chartreuse when I can't describe something. But it does seem to go into that color family. These I will definitely have some more fun with. I even think Mummy I lined with and kind of took it out to the side, but I think I could play with that a little bit more on the lid. So looking forward to playing with both the Are You My Mummy and Mischievous She. With those I did Bite Me. And Bite Me I put on the lips and also on the cheeks. I've used Bite Me on the lips before, really like it. So I will keep out Bite Me for a lip and cheek color. The last color by Fyrinnae that I played with in terms of eyeshadows was this color Conjurer. I have that all over the crease area here. It does make a gorgeous mid-range in the crease kind of color. I was surprised by that because when I look at it in here I think, no, that's going to be too dark, but it goes on sheer and it's gorgeous. One color I didn't play with by Fyrinnae is Sleepy Hollow. It is a very, very vibrant blue. And I think, again, I just don't quite know what to do with blue for fall. Look at that. It is a splash of color. It's got a lot of green to it. So I'm not sure. It's Sleepy Hollow. It should be a fall Halloween color. So I'm going to challenge myself to use Sleepy Hollow this week in a fall Halloween look. Today I pulled back out I Put a Spell on You. This is by Pumpkin and Poppy. Kind of beautiful greenish blue color. I foiled it today. Many of the Pumpkin and Poppy shadows are beautiful over a dark base. I know that from watching Veggie Beauty. When she does her videos, she'll often put these shadows over a dark base. I haven't played with that. I feel a little nervous about pulling that off at 53, but I'll start with liner and I'll line with something dark and then put this over and see how that goes. Another color from that same collection is this color Binks. And Binks is got a brown background, but it is a polychrome color and has a lot of blues and greens kind of shooting out of it. Binks is very close to this color by Glamour Doll Eyes called Permanent Address. Permanent Address has more of the purpley eggplant undertone, and the Binks goes more into the brown charcoals. I said I would play with blushes this week, and I did. Loving all three of these Fyrinnae blushes. I have tried the Charm again. Charm is probably one I'm going to wear more in the spring and the summer, but really nice. But for this time of year, Bewitching and Mesmerize are quite nice, so like those. Two other colors that I think would double as blushes. One is Bite Me, and I did use Bite Me as a blush. I did go ahead and cut it down with one of the All Natural Face Glow products just to, settle it down a bit because it's a pretty intense red. But when I put it on, I really liked it. That was a very, very pretty blush, and then I could kind of match my blush and cheeks. I think one could do the same with Sultry Samhain, so I will try that this week as a blush, and I think it will work. I think I might have to tone it down just a bit, but I'm pretty sure it will work. I won't be using Sultry Samhain on the lips because it doesn't say that it's lip safe, and don't put anything on your lips unless it says it's lip safe. I'm also playing with two other blushes. One is just one that I mixed up. It is this kind of very dusty mauve kind of blush. I did mix some glow in it, so it will have some glow quality to it. I didn't want it to be matte, so that'll be fun. It's just a little color that I invented and played with. I like that about pigments. You can just kind of get in there and play around a little of this, a little of that. And I'll be using my Torina Tarantino duo that I picked up from Sephora. That's what I have on today. And so if I go in the direction where I want to move into these kind of coral shades on my cheek, I will use that. Two products that I didn't like at all were the highlighting shades from Fyrinnae. I'm just going to use them to mix things with. I can see that they would be useful for that. So if I want to tone something down or give something just a little bit of sheen, then I can mix these in. But I didn't really care for either one. I didn't care for them as a highlighter, and I didn't care for them as under eye. There's something about them. They're not super effective as highlighters, and I don't particularly like the colors. This is too yellow, this is too pink. Just wasn't a fan of their highlight shades. That is it for my shadow of the week. It is more of a chance to play with these Halloween shades and to experiment with them a bit more, find some more looks with them, pop them over creams, just get a little bit more daring. I still want to keep them wearable. It is Saturday. I am behind on all things school. I don't think it's going to be a very fun weekend for me. I think it's going to be a working weekend. But the sun is shining, and if nothing else, I'll get out for a little walk and enjoy the leaves or a bike ride or something like that. And in that way, I'll make it a great Saturday. I hope you do too. Bye.